Coming up on this edition of Sports Zone, we'll have highlights from baseball and tennis.
An in-studio interview with one of the assistant football coaches.
Live updates from track and field meet and the Saints game.
A unique kind of Olympics.
And the final sports challenge of the year. Chris couldn't be here tonight, but no worries. We have our executive producer, Michael Lawrence, here to take his place.
I know I have some big shoes to fill, but I'm ready to step into the big leagues.
That's good to hear, Mike. That leads us to Loras baseball, where the Dewhawks took on the Co-Hawks at Petracas Park. Co would get on the board first with 2 runners on. Second baseman Scott DeAngelis would triple to left center field, putting the Co-Hawks up 2-0 in the second. But the Dewhawks got a run on a fielder's choice in the second. Outfielder Calvin Ray lines this one to center field, and then B.J. Jerkins races home to beat the throw at the plate to tie the game at 2. Later in the inning, Eric DeSosa would ground out to second to bring in Calvin Ray. This gave the Dewhawks the lead 3-2, and they wouldn't look back. Senior starting pitcher Kevin Moriarty would only give up 2 runs in 5 innings, and the Dewhawks would win this one 10-4. The Dewhawks are currently playing Augustana. Let's take a look at some of their stats. Augustana is 19-6, with 9 of those wins coming against the College Conference of Illinois and Wisconsin opponents. Infielder Jeremy Jewell has a batting average of .407. Infielder Pat Wilson isn't far behind with a batting average of .402. And infielder Dave Hoffman has a batting average of .363.
The women's tennis team hosted Cornell this past Sunday afternoon. This was the Dewhawks' first day of matches in the spring and their first game against an IAC team since September. During the doubles match, Rachel and Rebecca Walglertz dominated their opponents from Cornell in an impressive fashion, but the two could not hang on for the win as Cornell would defeat them 9-7. Later in the day, Mongie and Clary Villano teamed up to put away their competition early on the match. Although the Dewhawks were defeated, Coach Steuben was happy with the team's play coming off a long layoff.
Very little preparation for the spring. For the competitive matches today, we haven't played much doubles, and we've actually had the kids kind of playing pretty solid in that department, so I was happy to see that.
Tonight we are joined by new offensive line coach Steve Helminiak, but he isn't new to Loras. Coach, thanks for being with us tonight. What does it mean for you to come back and coach at Loras?
It's Loras College is home for me, and I played here. I played for Coach Berry. I coached here for 11 years and spent a lot of time here. So to come back is really special, and to be working with Coach Merkowitz is also a great experience. You know, Coach and I were teammates and coached together for 9 years. So it's pretty special.
Spring practice just ended. What is one thing that this new staff has learned about the team?
I think the one thing we've learned is that they're pretty hungry. You know, they want to win, and they've seen the successes that our other programs have had at Loras. You know, the soccer programs and the men's baseball has won conference a couple years ago. So I think they're hungry for wins. What's
something that the team needs to work on for the upcoming football season?
You know, I think one of the things that Coach Merck has talked about quite a bit has been accountability and also paying attention to detail. You know, those things, I think we've got some talent in our program, and I think if we can pay attention to detail, do the things that we need to do all the time, and we're accountable not only to ourselves but to our teammates, we've got a good chance for success.
Coach, good luck next season. Thanks so much for being with us tonight.
Thanks for having me.
After 2 rounds in the IAC tournament, Loras finds themselves in a really good situation. As a team, Loras is currently in 2nd place, but is 22 strokes behind Central College. Loras has a 1-stroke lead over Buena Vista and is 3 strokes ahead of Luther. Sam Herman is the current overall leader with 2 over par and is ahead of the next golfer by 3 strokes. Joe Leibfried shot a 9 over par and is tied for 6th overall. The next 2 rounds will begin on Friday the 29th at Finkbein Golf Course.
The Loras track and field team took their talents to Augustana last weekend only to face their toughest opponent yet, the weather. The Loras women fought the storm first as they took the track on Friday.
The weather was awful. In my experience, this is my 20th year coaching track, and that was up there, if not the worst.
Despite the weather, Tara Kilberg placed 3rd in the 1500, Kimmy Hemestedt was 3rd in the steeplechase, and Katie Langemeyer finished 3rd in the high jump. Heidi Tobin threw to a 2nd place finish in the hammer throw, and Bridget McQuillan took 2nd in the pole vault. The women's meet was later canceled due to lightning, leaving the track for the men on Saturday.
The guys, we had snow for the first 3 hours, which turned into rain. Really windy both nights.
For the men, Payne Finn leaped to a 3rd place finish in the long jump. Tim Durr took 3rd in the 110 hurdles, and the 4x8 relay team managed to finish second. The track and field team is running in the Loras midweek meet tonight at the Rock Bowl.
SportsZONE reporter Zach Altfelish is down at the Rock Bowl to give us more. Zach?
Thanks, guys. I'm here at the Rock Bowl where Loras College is hosting their midweek track meet right before the Easter break. There's a lot of events going on already and a lot of events still up to come, so come on down here and support your Dewhawks. A lot of big winners so far are the women's 4x100 meter, where they won with a time of 50.62. Another big winner for the Loras College Dewhawks is Caitlin Groper, who won the high jump, and our own LCTV's Tim Durr won the hurdles. So Tim Durr takes home another first place trophy for the hurdles. There's a lot of schools down here, including Loras, Luther, and Clark. So come on down here, grab a blanket. It's a little chilly out here, so come on down, grab that blanket, and support on your Dewhawks. Reporting live from the Rock Bowl, I'm Zach Altfelish. Back to you guys in the studio.
Zach, the Dewhawks softball team is playing right now, Cornell, Faber-Clark Field. Here at the bottom of the second, Beth Miller, looking to add to the 2-0 lead, puts down the bunt. DeAngelini races home, but she can't get past Carl Goolsby. In the third, Cornell began their comeback. Amanda Engel sends a grounder up the middle and brings in Nicole Duncan to tie the game at 2-all. Kelsey Tecklin steps up to the plate and in the fourth gets the slap hit. Nikki Rivera gets the score as Goolsby can't handle the ball. Loras takes back the lead 3-2. They went on to take the lead 5-2 in the bottom of the fourth. After this water break, we'll look at baseball in Dubuque.
Local Special Olympics Challenge Day.
A live shot from the Saints game.
And a story about a unique family here in Dubuque.
I find inspiration all around me. From those that push me to think and to grow. To move forward, because to stand still is to fall behind. That's not my plan. I'm just getting started. My life is just beginning. My major is inspiration.
I'm on mydewhawk.com.
I'm on my Dewhawk.
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 I'm on my Dewhawk. I'm on my Dewhawk. I'm on mydewhawk.com. Are you?
mydewhawk.com. Delivering you Dubuque.
Division I programs have been cutting their baseball teams due to financial restraint.
But this hasn't stopped Dubuque, which has 3 college baseball programs within its city limits.
To me, it's very difficult to see a sport discontinued, all right? And a sport that's our American pastime, as it started years ago.
And for Iowa State, University of Northern Iowa, and UW-Madison, it has become a reality that their athletic departments do not contain a baseball program anymore. But for Loras College, University of Dubuque, and Clark University, that isn't the case.
Private schools will use athletics to drive up enrollment. And if you look at the state schools, you know, the UNI, Iowa State, and the UW-Madison, you know, the athletics teams are really just a drop in the bucket as far as enrollment goes.
Loras Athletic Director Bob Quinn estimates that over 1/3 of Loras students' population is made up of student athletes.
Hundreds and thousands of students in high school that want to participate in athletics at the next level, and Division III is their opportunity to do that.
By providing a sport such as baseball, it serves as a recruiting tool for potential students, which in turn generates more tuition dollars for the school.
Is money from a student athlete's tuition strictly earmarked for the function of the athletic department? No. But do we get money from the institution to run our athletic program? Absolutely. So,
while Division I programs are cutting their baseball teams, it sounds like the programs in Dubuque should have no problem stepping up to the plate to support their teams.
It's nice to know that we're fortunate enough to be at a school that really supports athletics and supports baseball, and you know, just proud to keep doing it every day.
Dubuque Outlaws received some good news over the weekend. They have been accepted into the Women's Flat Track Derby Association, or the WFTDA Apprentice Membership Program. The WFTDA contains 109 league members and another 65 apprentice leagues. The purpose of the apprenticeship is that teams are given a chance to become a full-fledged member of the WFTDA. This means that they have a possibility to play in bigger cities as well as bigger venues.
The Eastern Iowa Outlaws roller derby team was back in action at the Five Flags Center. They got off to a rocky start against the Old Capital City roller girls from Iowa City, but number 333 left for Deadworth. Yep, there she is, was getting past the Outlaws blockers with ease. They would take an early 24-2 advantage in the first 3 minutes. Kristalica was trying to get something going in her jam session, but they would fall farther behind, losing 48-15. Fisher-Price would add another 3 points in her jam session, but it was not enough. The Outlaws couldn't overcome the early deficit in the first half and would lose 243-122.
Loras women's assistant basketball coach Jason Bowman has found a way to stay busy all year round. In doing so, he's helping girls across Eastern Iowa. Bowman coaches an AAU team here in Dubuque. The team is made up of Eastern Iowa and Wisconsin high school girls. The team began with tryouts, then moved on to practices, and is now in the full swing of AAU season.
I just decided that I thought a team in the summer would help me improve my skills for my high school team and just in general for my basketball career.
Bowman directs the team with intensity, and he expects them to respond. Practice is held in the AWC, so the team can use all the same equipment that college teams use in their practices. Even Loras head women's coach Justin Heinzen helps mentor the girls. They will put their practices to good use as they travel to Chicago on April 30th for a tournament.
The Special Olympics Challenge Day was held at the University of Dubuque Chaplain Recreation and Wellness Center for the first time. The event was moved there because it outgrew the previous venue. As much as 80 athletes showed up due to a rise of popularity. Once people are given this experience, they want to come back each year. The event gives adults, children with severe, profound intellectual and physical disabilities opportunities to play games.
This is absolutely a dream come true for Special Olympics and all the athletes here to have a facility big enough to handle the number of wheelchairs and the number of volunteers needed, etc., for an event like this.
Challenge days include ball darts, balloon volleyball, dice bowling, ramp bowling, and wheelchair basketball. It was an all-around great event where every athlete left with numerous awards and a gold medal. Looking around and seeing the faces on everyone's faces truly shows how much this means to all who participated.
The Mystique Ice Center is hosting their first ever playoff game tonight.
SportsZONE reporter Mike Gelson is down by the river to give us a preview on tonight's game. What's happening, Mike?
Thanks, guys. The seats are filling up, the playoff beards are growing, and the Fighting Saints are ready to take on their first playoff game here at the Mystique Community Ice Center. The Saints begin a best-of-5 game series against the Fargo Forest. This season, the Saints have played the Forest twice, losing once and winning the other in a 5-0 shutout. The Forest are coming off a 2-game sweep of the Lincoln Stars in the first round of the playoffs, and now much matched up against the Saints' USHL leading scorer John Goudreau, who picked up 36 goals throughout this regular season, and their goalie Matt Morris, who collected 23 wins in front of the net. But the Saints must also watch out for the Force's John Raykamp, who's turned it up in the playoffs, scoring twice and assisting in three games. So, folks, come on down. The Saints, they've been great all year, and they're going to really make it run the Clark Cup champion. And come on down and show that Fargo Forest don't belong in our house. Reporting live from the Mystique Community Ice Center, I'm Mike Elston. I'm back to you guys in the studio.
Thanks, Mike. Some athletes travel great distances to play their favorite sport. Families like the Sweeneys help make that possible. Home is where the heart is. Even though their actual home is hundreds of miles away, they feel at home right here in Dubuque.
It's like a home away from home, you know. We get to come here and play a better caliber of hockey, but we get to still have a nice family and whatnot.
Jan and Cindy Sweeney have been a Dubuque hockey host family for 18 years. A family provides necessities like a bed to sleep in and food to eat, but they also go beyond the basics.
Provide like a real positive environment, because that does affect the gameplay when they're on the ice.
Tony Larson, a frequent guest of the Sweeneys, has played hockey for 16 years.
It's pretty cool. It's kind of nice to get to know a brand new family and get to learn everything that they're all about.
There's always a mixing and matching, so, but for the most part it works out pretty well.
Yeah.
So.
The Sweeneys enjoy attending games and watching someone they know on the ice.
You're there hoping they do well. You're hoping they score that goal, or or their goalie they get a shutout, or So it's just fun going to the game, knowing you have someone on the ice.
They've had players from all over the country, and even an international player from Slovakia.
The friendship that I developed with some of my siblings that I lived with, I'll probably have lifelong friendships with them now, so that's pretty neat.
Time and distance may eventually separate the Sweeneys from their host players, but hockey is one thing that will always keep them together.
Timeout, we'll have a highlight, a Duhawk pitcher.
And Chris and I compete on the diamond.
Starting off as a transfer student from Cornell College, one athlete found his home on the Duhawks pitching mound.
And that's the start that pitched senior Cole Bogey into this week's Duhawk Spotlight.
Originally, my father drew me to the sport. There's a lot of things that can be learned from the game of baseball, and that how you deal with adversity and failing, and also on the other side, how you deal with your success. When I take the mound, I think about not getting too high and not too low. Trying to stay right in the middle, going with the punches when things aren't going right, and when things are going well, then trying to minimize and stay focused. After I graduate, I will still be coaching, and I'm in the process of doing that right now, and I'll continue to do that, hopefully for many years, as well as playing Wood Bat League in the summer here in Dubuque. My favorite thing about baseball is that it's a game of failure, actually, and how you have to deal with that. Not a lot of people can handle failing 7 out of 10 times. The best baseball players only succeed 3 out of the 10 times, but it's a very unique sport in that way, in that it's based around failure, and the best players have to deal with failure.
It's been a rough year for the baseball team, but hopefully they can make a late season charge to finish strongly.
Good luck to Cole and the rest of the team. This week, Chris and I batted up against the softball team's best pitcher.
Check out to see who swung their way home to victory.
Welcome to another edition of the Sports Challenge.
Today we're hitting and fielding with some Duhawk softball players.
Should be an interesting day here on the diamond. Let's do it to it.
Can I have a few practice swings though, before we start? All right. Final sports challenge of the year, so my punishment is raking the softball field. Till next time. Oh man, this is a workout.
You know, Caitlin, I've been producing the show for 2 years, and Chris always wanted to do the sports challenge going against Loras softball pitchers.
You know, he's graduating in May. I'm so excited that he finally got the opportunity to do this, even if he did beat me.
Yeah, although some of those hits were a little bit foul balls.
Half of his hits were foul balls, for the record.
He'll tell you they were fair, but you never know with Chris. That's all the time we have for you. Thank you for watching.
Log on to myduhawk.com anytime and catch us again for the latest and greatest in Duhawk athletics.